Flosstube. My name is Becca, and I am SamBrie Stitches here on Flosstube and Instagram. I am here with very, very special guests. I'm so excited. I can't even talk. But this is a special edition of Interview with the Flosstuber, and I'm here with EJ and Sheila and Gary. I'm sure many of you guys know who they are. They're the Sunshine Stitchers. They are full of laughs and information, enabling. A lot of enabling. I've heard. Yeah, a lot of enabling, and some amazing stitching and finishing as well. It's a very, very awesome channel that I really enjoy. And their friendship really comes through in the videos too. Lots of laughs and just so much fun to watch. So I'll be posting their link down below if you're not familiar with them. But so how are you guys doing tonight?
Doing good.
Good. I'm excited.
Yeah.
This will be a lot of fun.
Yes. We want to just thank you for inviting us, and this is such a thrill. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you guys. As I was just telling you before the recording, I wanted to invite you guys to close out the new year for interviews for 2020 and kind of welcoming in the new year, I should say. So thank you all for taking the time to do this too. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And
thank you for the invite. It's like nice.
All right, so let's jump into some questions. The first one is, why did you all start a Flosstube, and were there any particular motivations?
You want me to? Okay. Yeah, from my point of view, let me tell you my point of view.
Yeah, let's hear it. Yeah, I've never heard it from EJ's perspective.
Here's from my point of view. Okay, so so I'm at the cupboard sitting, stitching, and
no, right there. No, this is EJ stitching at the cupboard.
Right. I'm at the cupboard stitching.
He's learning.
And then okay, so I hear you should start a Flosstube. You should start a Flosstube, and I'm just either stitching or actually stitching. So I put my head up, and then because I was fairly new, really new to stitching, and I knew what Flosstube was, so because I've watched it, and I never thought in my mind that I'd ever do one like that, never ever. So a couple of weeks later, I hear because they're still throwing out everyone should do a Flosstube, and then Sheila says, "We're gonna do a Flosstube. It's me, Gary, and EJ." I'm like, I did it, huh? What? I'm in this. He's like, yes, wonderful. Who could think of a name? So that was my point of view. I don't know how it all went, but this was me.
That's funny. Is there a different point of view?
It's pretty much it. It had been a running conversation at the community stitching table at our brick and mortar cross-stitch store, the Crossstitch cupboard. And everybody kept saying, Gary, you should do a Flosstube. Sheila, oh, you should do a Flosstube. And we were both like, no, no. And finally one Saturday, I just said, okay, that's it.
We're doing it.
Yeah, we're just doing it.
That's exactly. And I took out my phone to pull up my calendar because I was a project manager in my work professional life, to get my calendar and say, okay, how about this date? And then Gary and EJ were like, okay.
I'm like, are we really doing this? Yeah. And then Sheila and I, the next Saturday, because Gary couldn't do it because he was out of town. Okay. The next Saturday, Sheila and I did a run through.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
That was the best run through ever, wasn't it?
Oh my God. We were trying to find the record button, and we're taking like 1,000 snapshots of us like.
And I think that copy's locked up in the archives, right?
Oh, that would be neat to see.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out everything. Yeah. So it was, and we had wine. Yeah. So that was fun.
Yeah, it was.
That sounds like a blast.
It was, because we didn't have a clue of what we were doing. We didn't know anything about recording, loading anything to
Yep.
Flosstube. And as it turned out, we were like maybe 25% of the way there the first time we actually sat down to do it. So the first couple of times that first night that we recorded our video, I think it took us like 6 or 7 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Actually, yeah, it was.
It was
That's a
Yeah,
lot.
Julia got a little tense.
I remember those days.
The cats have to be fed. I
I
have to
know,
go home to feed the cat.
I didn't anticipate being that late and getting back home, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is like.
It was like 12:30 at night one time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez.
We started at 2.
Yeah.
Dang. Well, did it get easier though? Like
Yes.
not
Oh,
as
yeah.
late? Okay.
We had
Oh
a
yeah.
ritual. We had a ritual. It was like Saturday, stitch at the cupboard at a certain time. We go to Gary's house. We film. We bring dinner. We talk. We laugh. We have a good time. We edit. We get sleepy. We laugh some more.
And then we hear about the cats needing to be
Yeah, and
fed.
then we hear about the
Yes,
and
yes.
then, well, okay, hurry up.
Well, that sounds like such a fun process. Well, we're glad that y'all like jumped into it and started a channel. So
Yeah.
fun. All right. Well, let's move on to the next question. And this one is a subscriber question. I was just wondering if any of you have a blog.
No.
No.
No blog? No.
We have a Facebook group.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have the Sunshine Stitchers Facebook group, and Gary has the GaRon
GaRon.
Tottenbags Facebook group.
All right. I'll link all those down below too, just in case.
Okay.
I'm sure everybody has probably, been there.
So
and
our
seen it.
Flosstube is more like a video blog anyway.
Yeah, that is true. That's what a lot of people say is like Instagram and Flosstube is kind of like your own, modern type of blog. But there are still subscribers that are kind of looking for the, the internet written out blog. So
Yeah.
we're just asking and trying to figure out who has, but not very many people do. So
Yeah.
Our blog is in the description box because we write everything down.
those do turn into blogs for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, for sure.
Ours typically runs out of space.
Yeah, they need to
Yeah.
add more characters to those boxes for sure.
Yeah.
They fill up quickly.
It's like a novella.
Yeah, because everybody wants, exactly, what project you're working on, what fabric, what floss you're using. Yeah, that all fills up. Somebody came up with the idea of linking a spreadsheet and just updating the spreadsheet. I think that was maybe Aaron, 2 Martini Stitcher. But yeah, so then it frees up a whole bunch of space in the description box. So that's kind of a neat idea, but definitely need more space.
For my Instagram, I always put like chart name, designer, what fabric and floss that I'm using. So just in case they have a question, they can just
Go to
go
Instagram.
to my Instagram. Yeah.
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 That's always good too.
Mhm.
This is kind of a fun one. And it's, how did you learn to stitch and how long have you been stitching?
Sheila.
Sheila's first this time.
Yeah. I've been stitching since around 1993, 1992.
Okay.
And I was living in Manhattan and knew I needed to re-engage in something working with my hands. I've been a knitter, a crocheter, a sewer, and the hands were feeling idle. So I bought a little kit at a craft store or something in Manhattan and taught myself.
Oh, taught yourself. Wow.
Yeah. And then that might have been 1992. 1993, I went to my first Spirit of Crossstitch festival, which was the last one that was held in New York State, and took a class called Everything You Always Wanted to Know About Crossstitch.
That sounds like fun.
It was actually, and that was phenomenal. I learned all of the basic techniques, and it was phenomenal. So that really helped to move me forward.
Was it like, okay, everyone, this is a fabric. And
Yeah,
this
Was it a step-by-step thing?
Yeah,
We're like,
like,
this is
now
14
detailed.
count.
yeah,
We do one over one.
yeah. Is that how detailed it was?
It was very basic.
Cool.
Different types of fabric, the couple of methods of making your X's and going all the way across or doing the one at a time, how to read a chart, how to they taught us to highlight the symbols.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was about an hour and a half, 2 hours, I think.
Okay.
I'm
it was-
curious,
it had-
did they teach you to stitch with like a hoop or in hand? How did they teach you in that class? Did they do?
They talked about the different hoops. At that time, it was mainly hoops
Yeah.
and frames.
Oh, okay.
I don't think we had the Q-snap then. I don't remember. The Q-snap, I think, came along maybe a little later because I bought my first Q-snap at a Spirit of Cross-Stitch festival.
Okay.
But I don't think it was that one. I think it was a couple of years later. But they did talk about hoop and frames. And I think I was using a hoop at that time because that's what came in the kit.
Yeah. Well, I was just curious because I know a lot of people like will learn in hand, and I was just curious what they taught at the class, if they kind of push more one than the other then.
No, that was one of the nice things. It was very even-handed, not pushing one particular method or style, how to start your stitches, how to end your stitch, to carry or not to carry.
That was the question.
Yeah, that was a good question.
That was excellent. It was excellent.
Nice. They should still offer classes like that. I know you could probably learn more online right now, but in-person classes are always the best. So.
Well, just a little segue, and anybody who watches our videos is probably sick of hearing this from me, but Jean Farish of Jean Farish Needleworks has been doing a series designed for the beginner cross-stitcher.
Oh, okay.
And she totally is taking it from the very basic in terms of fabric, needles, just everything.
Interesting. Well, that'll be good for like beginners to check out since you can't physically have in-person classes. So
Exactly.
I'll link Jean Farish down below too. I've checked out her channel. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
all right. So what about your other two? Which one wants to go?
I'll go. I've been stitching since I was 10, so probably about 42 years.
Yeah.
Probably about.
Probably about. Look at him smile.
A year or two here or there, maybe.
I know. I'm doing the math, and I think it may be, isn't it more than that?
Well, didn't he come out the womb sewing? Isn't that
Yeah,
what
he
he
did.
said?
Yeah, he did.
I did have to sew up when I left.
That's talent right there.
So I've always had a project going. Not as many as I have now. I have about 12 now, right?
Yeah, right.
Right.
So did you teach yourself or?
No, my grandmother taught me when I was young, and so I just picked it up then.
Oh, nice.
Very, straight lines, easy to follow. I got a roadmap. I got a piece of fabric. I count. I can do that,
Yeah.
and it's a great stress reliever. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
Definitely is, for sure. Well, nice. All right, EJ, how did you learn to stitch?
My mother taught me and my sister. We ended up stitching the same way, 14 count, 2 over 2. So,
2 over 2?
Yeah.
my sister called me recently and she's like, I found my first project. I said, really? I want to see it. And sure enough, 14 count, 2 over 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did she have enough fabric?
Probably, no,
Finish
it was,
her?
see, we were designers. We picked up motifs from here and there to put it on our own. So,
Okay.
but, no.
Unique. Very unique.
And we were wondering why, our names won't fit.
Yeah, that's like, you'd have to have a big piece of 14 count.
Yeah. So yeah. So yes. Yeah, it was a while ago, and then I picked it up again, and I was looking down so I can see the exact date. November 16, 2017.
Okay.
So
Very
that's
new
when
stitcher.
I officially started. See, I was doing this little ornament thing that I bought.
Neat. Yeah.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? I don't know what I was gonna say.
You've been just going ever since.
Oh, yeah. Why I started again? Because I needed something creative to do. Like I felt a missing part, and that's that creativity part that I was missing.
Do you ask yourself that question every week after being with me?
What?
Why did I start again?
Yeah.
With all the restarts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So do each of you have a favorite project or projects that you've stitched?
Oh, I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think mine is everybody else's favorite too.
Yeah.
What?
Go
Ready?
ahead.
You want to go
Carrie.
first?
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yes.
Merman.
It's
Wow.
my first and only full coverage to date.
That is amazing. Oh my gosh. Is that a Hade or what is that?
It's from Tilton Craft.
Oh, Tilton Crafts. Okay.
So it's a full coverage. And it's stitched on 18 count, Ada.
Nice.
One thread.
that.
One over one?
One over one. So that's
I
my
love my
pride
Ada.
piece.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that before, and I like
Oh
that.
my goodness. It's like on the back when he hangs it up.
Really? Because
Yes. People are like, we don't even know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
They're focused on Merman.
Merman.
maybe I don't pay attention to the background. I don't know.
Merman has followers.
Yeah, he's the
Wow.
summer fish.
That's impressive. That's impressive. All right. So who wants to go next for the
You wanna I'm looking for mine right now.
Yeah. I have two, but I found one. So
Okay.
I will show you this one, which I finished last year. It's called the best therapy. It's called Beach Therapy, and it's a white lion design, and the fabric is a fabric flare. So the sand and
beach.
the water.
Yep, I have that. I love it.
Yeah, and
Oh,
that
you
was a lot of fun.
Why is it your favorite?
Well, I did it for my sister, who was so kind as to go to a cross-stitch store with me when we were on a family trip. And she picked the chart out. She picked it out.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's why. And I won a blue ribbon.
Oh yeah.
oh, cool. I like pieces that have the sentimental,
Yeah.
attachment to them too, for sure.
Yes, yes. So EJ, did you find yours?
Yes, I have two as well. So this is my first one. It's the
Oh, it's cute.
the birth sampler for my nephew.
Oh, I thought it would be Mother Moon.
Finished, she said.
Oh.
Mother Moon is not quite there yet, but it is it's like my first grown-up piece, even though it's a birth sampler, it's I was relearning to stitch and doing all these methods. I put like 6 beads. I'm a beader now, and so I was very proud of myself, and I stuck with it. It just didn't get rolled up and put in the corner because it was finished. The baby was maybe a year old, but
It got finished.
Yeah.
That's all that matters, as long as it got finished.
Yeah, that's actually
my
really
first
cute.
piece. Go ahead, Sheila, with your second.
Okay, yeah, and this is my second one, which is on an
Yeah.
Afghan. These are charts from a series, Southern Roots, And I put together a whole bunch of them onto an Afghan, which also went to my sister and my brother-in-law. And I really, that was the first piece I did after I retired. And it was the largest piece that I've done. So each one of these images represents an aspect of African-American life in the South from back in the day.
I never saw that one. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful piece.
Looks like a painting, actually, to me, like on the screen.
Yes. Look at the wash lady. I mean, isn't she amazing? Look at
Wow.
Yeah.
So recently, my brother-in-law was talking to other members of his family, and they were asking, you know, what do you have that you treasure? And he talked about this Afghan.
Oh.
Because there's several of these images remind him of his relatives and family members as he was growing up. And I was completely like, wow, you know, that's so, yeah. So those are my two. They haven't both have gone to my sister.
Well, you know that they're loved and appreciated. That's the great thing, because there's so many stories of people gifting to other people and them not being appreciated. So
exactly,
that Afghan is amazing. Oh,
thank you.
My second piece is Unconditional Love.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I like that.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So it was for a remembrance piece for our dear friend Tilly.
Mm-hmm.
So I really loved it. That leaf near killed me.
Yes.
That leaf.
That's a lot of stitches.
A lot of stitches. Yeah. But I really, really, really like that piece. I really like that.
It's another
And
sentimental.
those are the ones that I stuck with it and continued until it was done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had a little detour, but I always went back to.
That's right. That's right.
It's a beautiful piece for sure. And another sentimental meaning to it. So yeah, love it. All right.
Yeah.
So what do you all enjoy most about stitching?
Well, I'm a process stitcher. I enjoy the journey, the adventure, the watching the whatever I'm stitching show up on the fabric.
Yeah. I'm a process product stitcher. It's like reading a book. I want to see the beginning when I collect it. I want to do it in the middle, stitch it, and then at the finish, I want to hang it up.
Yep, I'm with you. Yep, for sure.
I'm also a clearly I'm not a product stitcher because most of my finished pieces are really literally hanging in the closet. The few that I finished, but I do like the sitting and the stitching, and also the community part of it.
Yes.
You know, especially with the Zoom and Saturday stitching before COVID, sitting there with your friends, laughing, talking, like a real community coming together, and everyone doing something separate but the same thing.
Yeah, and they share the same love. Yeah.
And they know what you're talking about when you're talking about Ada, and they don't look at you, you know, like
right. Somebody to share your love of, look at this floss color. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and you don't show something to someone and say, "Oh, that's pretty knitting."
Yeah.
Someone said that? That's knitting?
Yeah.
I get that all the time because I take my stitching into work and I'll go sometimes sit in the break room and I'll stitch, and people just ask me the weirdest questions because they don't know what cross stitch is. Now they do after seeing me for years, but like, you know, you have to school them. That's what you have to do.
Yeah.
Not knitting. So we're going to get out of stitching a little bit and kind of get to know y'all a little bit more. The next question is, what's your favorite genre of book or movie?
Want me to go first?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Ready? Trashy romance novels.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Love it.
That's me. And I love reading. So any good book too, and any book that okay, you have the trashy romance novels where everything's predictable, but you also have like the mysteries or the whodunits or the thrillers that you never saw coming, like the plot and the twist. I love that, and I love that in movies as well.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm more of a sci-fi fantasy, but I like when they throw in murder mystery in the sci-fi fantasy world, so so you're not stuck in one genre.
My favorite type of movie is I'm a great fan of the like the Marvel. Yeah, there you go. You know, anything Star Wars, anything. You know, I'm that first Saturday morning person sitting in the movie theater at the 9 o'clock show. That's me. But I used to read a lot, and I don't read so much anymore because I do so much stitching. So I watch a lot of television, and actually, you know, I've actually begun to get a little bit worried because I really love true crime.
It's a problem.
It's like an addiction.
An excessive amount of true crime.
Yeah, we get scared a little bit.
Yeah, I was like, she's gonna know all the ins and outs of
Oh, for sure. And I like to remind people that I get to watch these stories because these dumb people got caught, right?
Yeah, it's like, where's your extra shower curtain at? Don't you have duct tape?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to start rolling the camera behind the scenes when you're doing your videos. Added security.
The funny thing is when we room together during retreats, Shelia sleeps to the true crime TV on. So she's literally
like absorbing it.
Yes, absorbing information. And next time on Unsolved Mysteries. And she's
my gosh.
She's like
and EJ's up all night long, like, oh my God.
Like, I can't sleep.
It's so true. Well, I'm telling you, the guy who narrates Forensic Files, and anybody who watches Forensic Files will know this, his voice is amazing. Amazing. I love his voice. Puts me to sleep.
I don't know if I've watched that to where I'll have to check that out. Because you need people is it like is he narrating it kind of? Yeah, okay. Yeah, you need somebody with that catchy draw-in type of voice to
it's
draw
a very
in.
calming voice, a very matter-of-fact voice.
Yeah.
And you've got the people acting out, you've got people telling the story, you know, the actual people and the police investigators, family and friends of the victim, and you know, telling the story.
Okay.
But you have this one person every episode who is connecting the dots for you, giving you the background. And I just love his voice. So
and she's like, oh yeah, this is my favorite episode. Like, what?
Better watch that one closely.
Yeah, right? And then at the end, I'm like, wait a minute, I can't go down yet. I want to see what happens.
You get running. I'm gonna have to check that out. That's funny. When you said that you're not reading as much anymore, have you ever considered like audiobooks? I know a lot of stitchers do audiobooks.
No.
No, I think I like the joy of reading more than just listening to audiobooks. Turning the page and
having that book.
Of the book and
yeah. Although I read all of in fact, I think it was probably, no, it wasn't. I read all of the Game of Thrones books on a Nook.
Oh,
so like yes, all 4 of them on a Nook. Yeah.
Wow. Did you get a callus?
Huh?
Did you get a callus?
It was, and maybe that's why I don't read anymore.
You just need that physical book. That's it.
Yeah, I just think about
swiping.
Yeah, and it's like I can't do it. I can't.
That's funny. All right. So the next question is kind of a fun one. What fictional place would you most like to go?
Oh, that's no, absolutely Wakanda.
Wakanda.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
The Death Star.
Oh,
The Death Star? I
Well,
also
I
have
did-
a second place.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
I did think of the Death Star, but then after COVID, I think probably a cross-stitch store.
I know, right?
You know,
Well,
and
that's
yeah,
coming up next.
yeah, I did like
That's the
the
next
concept
question.
of being isolated, but then I thought I need my supplies.
You could have the whole store to yourself.
So the,
Actually, I
Death,
do.
so the Death Star is what? Is it a planet? What is it?
okay. So
It's not a moon.
Is it a moon? No.
Oh, no. Look what you said.
Gary, why did you take us down this road?
Okay, you know what? I'll just look it up. I'll Google it.
Yeah.
But my second place after Wakanda, of course, Wakanda. Hello,
Yeah.
Wakanda.
That
Yeah.
would be awesome.
Yeah. It would be Rivendell, Lord of the Rings and the
Yeah.
Hobbit, where the elves live. Very tranquil, peaceful, and the guy who plays the guy who plays the head elf, I forgot his name. His voice. But he's also the guy in the Matrix.
Keanu Reeves?
No.
No,
He's
no.
Mr. Smith in the Matrix.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I just can't think of the actor's name, but yeah, his voice is just this low. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Is that's not Samuel L. Jackson, is it?
No.
No, it's the other
It's the
guy.
with the glasses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the one that plays the
Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith. He kind of switches. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not remember his name, but yeah.
Yeah. So Rivendell and then Wakanda first and then Rivendell.
Nice. Very fun places.
Yes.
So
Oh,
this
the
one,
was pretty fun too.
you're-
You can go anywhere.
yep.
Mr. Smith.
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
But
Yeah.
it doesn't have his name. It just says Agent Smith.
Yeah.
No.
I'm trying to figure out the actor's name.
What is his name?
No, it wasn't
Played
Samuel
by
L.
Hugo
Jackson.
Weaving.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay. Wasn't he also V for Vendetta? Didn't he also play?
I don't know that.
Okay.
I haven't watched that in a long time. But
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm glad we said his name though, because I think that would be bugging everybody for a long time after watching.
I know.
So the next question is, if you could choose to do anything for a day, what would it be?
Ooh.
Cruise on the open sea.
I would
Actually, I
love to
like
do that.
organizing the floss and charts.
Isn't that what you do already?
I know, but I love it.
You should come over and do mine, man. I am so far behind on organization.
Once I get it organized, then I reorganize it in a different way.
I need to have that organizational gene because I don't have it.
Today is by color. Tomorrow it's alphabetical order. And then reverse alphabetical order.
And then by feeling.
They're my favorites. What I would do is travel, like spend the day traveling and then just taking in sights, like be a tourist.
Mm-hmm.
Just hit all the major kind of touristy sites.
Yes. Go to Japan. Go to Japan. Yes.
Yeah. I would love to do the cruise. I didn't even think of that. I've never been on one, and I want to do an Alaskan cruise.
Beautiful.
Ugh.
Absolutely breathtaking. Yeah.
I have to try it first. The first time I was on a ship, it was the Navy ship, and it wasn't a very good
Not
trip.
No,
so cold.
way different.
Yeah.
Way different. Way
So I'm going to try and compare.
well, hopefully next year cruises will resume and we can all experience.
I am ready. I am so ready.
Yeah, I think we're all ready. Get back into our cross-stitch shops, back with our group of friends, all that stuff. But yeah, a cruise would be pretty amazing.
Oh, yes.
So, do you guys have any other hobbies besides cross-stitch?
No.
Is buying, shopping, and collecting
Yeah, I was
a
gonna
different
say,
hobby?
that
You
is
know,
separate from cross stitch.
you're hunting, some of those hard to get things, those new releases,
Yeah.
old releases.
So it has to be pretty fun to own like your own cross stitch shop though, because you get to do all this crazy buying, and then you get to use the stuff that you're buying, but also share it with other stitchers. So that has to be a blast.
Especially showing everybody what the good stuff is, right?
Yeah.
My little enabling hobby.
Yeah.
I like
Enabling.
reading. I like reading.
Yeah.
And cross stitch and reading together but that's why audiobooks is so good.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when I drive to work, into work and come home, it's like 2 hours.
Mhm.
So
Actually, when I used to drive, I would listen on the way home. I would listen to Erin, to Martini Stitcher,
Oh yeah.
because I could listen to her, and her stories would just keep me paying attention to the road.
Yep. She is fun.
It's like
But
she's
yeah.
out there.
Well, yeah, then you kill like two birds with one stone, basically. If you're driving, you can listen to your books or to other floss tubers, and then when you get home, you could get your stitching done, because obviously you can't stitch when you drive. So,
I mean, Gary does.
oh no,
You just put it on cruise control.
Yeah.
cruise control, or have Tesla, or just have a
Yeah.
Tesla
That's
Uh,
right.
and let it drive, and then you
In
can
the back
stitch while
seat.
it's driving you. There you go.
How do I sense
Scary.
that?
That is,
Yeah.
I watch too much TV to be messing with that.
Yeah. And my friend has a Tesla, and they had swung by one day during COVID, so we had to social distance, but they were in the driveway with a Tesla, and that's the closest I've been. I was like, oh. It's just like an iPad. It's crazy. I don't know. No thanks. As much as I want to stitch, I don't think I want a self-driving car. So
There you go. Right.
I don't know.
Not quite there yet.
No, not quite there. Okay, this is the fun one. I'm so excited. So usually I ask would your friends describe you, and you may have asked other friends, but since you all are friends and you're all on here, how would you guys describe each other?
I'll go first.
He's
Oh,
all prepared.
he is. He's like,
I would say Sheila is a studious learner of stitches. There's not a specialty stitch she will not try or take a class in. She is going to learn it no matter how long it takes, but she's going to get it, and she's going to show everyone that she got it.
and try to describe how to do it.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
And some of us, we learn that one stitch or two stitches, and we kind of stay in our bubble, but she's like breaking that bubble all the time.
That's impressive. That is impressive.
And then EJ, I'm going to say, is adventurous, because she's going to join any group that's doing anything crazy. So like, if you're going to count stitches while you're jumping out of an airplane, she would do it, but she's afraid of heights. I mean, 200 stitches before I hit the ground. Challenge accepted.
That's funny.
Sheila, you want to go second?
Okay, so I would describe Gary as unbelievably productive, and his ability to see color, fabric, thread, combinations, just
Mind-blowing.
yeah, it's unbelievable. EJ, I have completely enjoyed her cross stitch journey. The learning, I can't do this. I'm not going to finish this. Oh yes, you are.
That leap.
That face right there. Oh yes, you are. I love that.
Yeah, that's exactly the conversation. Just the her excitement, her enthusiasm. That's yeah.
So first one is Gary. My word was talented.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very talented. He, like Sheila said, he can see fabric, floss, colors, color combination. Will it work? Will it, won't it work? Will it won't? Will it work? Will it won't work? Oh, you know. So that is like amazing. Like, and he is my go-to person. And you know, there's other people too, but he is my go-to person for, you do think this works? Because I don't have that eye. I don't have that eye. And he will tell you, and then not only that, he will give you 3 other options that you can.
That's cool. That's
being
good to
a
have
Libra,
somebody like
that's
that.
horrible.
Yeah, I will make it simple, right?
Yeah.
Julia is detail oriented. She will get stuff done, okay? And she has a list, and she will get you on track too. And I'm a little, you know, flighty.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. And Julia will get you right on track lovingly, you know? So
I don't know that. Oh, yes, you will.
But she's coming from a place of love and a place of wanting you to do well.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate both of them, and I've enjoyed learning about them and getting to know them better, and they have been the best part of stitching.
Oh,
Thank you.
See, that's why I like asking this question, because I love hearing stuff like that. You guys are just so fortunate to have each other to be able to, you know, call on and say, just do these colors match, or somebody who supports you when you want to quit. That's amazing. And that's kind of what our community is all about for stitching too, is we're all pretty supportive of one another. So I love that. That was kind of fun asking y'all what you thought of each other.
When we first started our videos, you know, we weren't good friends. We were just people who sat around the table.
Some of us may have been a little feral.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. But what we realized after we started making the videos is that we actually do like each other.
Yeah.
And that has made a big difference, I think, in our video. I think that's what people relate to when they watch our videos.
It comes across. Yeah.
We genuinely do like each other and enjoy each other's company. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of neat that you weren't that close when you started, but because you were doing the videos and kind of learning more about each other, that you grew closer. Because usually it's the other way around. Usually they're a close group of friends that decide to start a video and just kind of go for there. So that's really neat that you have kind of a story to go along with your channel. So very neat.
Yeah.
So we're going to get back into stitching just a tiny bit. And this is, how do you prefer to stitch? Do you use a hoop, a Q-snap, a frame, that kind of stuff?
A Q-snap.
Yeah.
Yep. Q-snap all the way.
I use them all. I use them all. It depends on the piece. It depends on the size of the piece. I'm doing a little piece right now. It's on a hoop. I've got 5 or 6 large pieces on roller frames, and I've got every possible size of Q-snap one could actually put together. It just depends on the piece and whether it's a vertical or, you know.
Yep, that makes sense. I like to Frankenstein my Q-snaps, I use
predominantly Q-snaps. I've got one piece that I'm using a roller frame on because it's a banding, and the more I stitch on it, I'm probably going to get used to the frame a little bit more. It's just not what I'm kind of used to yet, but definitely not much of a hoop person because I grew up with hoops, and I really like the Q-snap because I just balance the Q-snap. I don't have, with the hoop, I get a cramp in my hands. So with the Q-snap, I can balance it because it's got enough weight, it's going to stay in place.
That makes sense. Yeah. Because I do the same, because I tried to learn in hand and I would get it like a hand cramp. And so the hoops is the same kind of grasp. So yeah, Q snaps are the best. So do
Yeah.
you all have like a preferred type of fabric that you lean towards when you stitch?
Linen.
Does any type of linen, any count?
Yeah, linen.
32 count primarily.
Yeah, 32 count linen
Mhm.
is my go-to. I'll do, but that's where the curse of the color in me comes out. Because if it's a 28 and I really like the color, I'll do it. If it's a 36, I'll do it. If it's a 40, I'll like, oh, I really like the color, I'll do it. But sometimes color dictates in projects.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that does make sense.
My go-to is a Lugana. It's like an even weave.
Mhm.
That is my go-to is an even weave.
Even
And
weave.
then and it's even weave, Ada, and then
At least
Okay.
Ada's up there.
yeah, oh yeah, Ada's up there. That's
I love my Ada.
I love Ada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So where is your favorite place that you've traveled, and did you bring stitching along when you went?
So my favorite place was a cruise. I did travel to Auckland, New Zealand, and cruise Auckland, Australia, Indonesia, Singapore, ended in Singapore, Kuala Lumpur. I mean, it was a fabulous cruise. And yes, I did, not only did I take stitching, but when I was changing planes in Sydney, Australia to get to Auckland, New Zealand, I know, I almost became an international incident.
Oh, no. I think I know where this is going.
The customs, yeah, you know, I had scissors that I've traveled with for years, right? I was changing planes. I wasn't leaving the airport. And not only that, after I had my argument and lost, the gate that I was going to was literally 25 feet from where the gate that I was coming in from. But Sydney Customs took my scissors, took my stitching scissors.
Oh.
And I was
She's
so
now pissed. Do you hear her voice?
Yeah, you can tell.
She's
telling you,
pissed.
yeah.
I was not a happy camper. And after having traveled already for, 20 something hours, I was not in the best mood. I was not, wasn't pleasant.
I'm almost scared to ask, but were they like nice scissors, like nice stitching scissors, or just?
One was, no, not necessarily, but it's just that I had been traveling with them for a very,
Right.
very long time.
Yeah.
The other, I had two pairs, and the other one was a nicer pair that I also had a long time, but both of them were fully compliant with the U.S. and I'd been in and out of other foreign countries
Right.
with those scissors with
Yeah.
no problems. So I was not happy. But so when I got to Auckland, I found a cross-stitch store, and it was a fairly rainy day, and I literally spent 3 hours in a cross-stitch store. So not only did I travel with stitching, I practically spent my entire souvenir budget the first afternoon.
Stitch shop.
I was
Buying
in a-
scissors.
I think all of
Yeah.
us would do the
I
same.
definitely had scissors.
Wow, that
Yeah.
sounds like an amazing trip, though, other than
I-
losing your scissors. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took it's in a different way. I grew up in Germany on an army base, so I had stitching there as a kid. And then my place that I really stitched at that comes to mind wasn't my favorite place, but it still comes to mind as, I'm in the Gulf War in Saudi Arabia in my combat fatigues doing my stitching. with
That
my
is
M60.
awesome.
Yeah.
So that's my image.
Wow.
And nobody dared to ask me a question about it.
Yeah, no, right. That is awesome, though. You don't hear about many military, people sitting there stitching for sure. Wow.
That's a stress reliever. It's
Yeah.
stress
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. So you were deployed then, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah, my husband was in the Marine Corps and was deployed in 2006 to Iraq during, that war. So that's crazy. That I wish that he would have brought something to help him de-stress. So that's great that you had stitching, because I fully understand.
And then the moment it was finished, somebody wanted that, said it's yours. I didn't care.
Oh wow!
It was 6 cactuses. I was stitching 6 cactuses in the desert.
Oh,
So that's the only kid I could find.
that's neat that somebody wanted it. So that's cool. That's so cool. All right.
My favorite place to visit, and this was prior to, picking up stitching again, is Haiti. I have friends and family in Haiti, and when I go there, it's like total relaxation. By the pool, you go to the beach. My favorite part, and I always tell this story, is on the side there's like a hut where you can order your food, and you're like, I want some grilled fish. They're like, okay, how big? And okay,
Just like size it up.
So this guy, he goes with his snorkeling outfit on, and he goes to he goes to the ocean and picks the size fish that you want, and it's the best fish ever.
Well, definitely the freshest.
Yes, very, very fresh. So so traveling to Haiti, spending time with family, friends, and just total relaxation. Like no phones, no nothing. It's just amazing. Yeah.
All of those sound absolutely amazing. I'm kind of jealous. I've not gone anywhere where I've brought stitching other than like appointments or something like that. So, wow.
No, I always travel with stitching, and Gary does too. When he does his business travel, stitching always goes. Yeah.
It's just nice to have to kill time
leave
too
home
on the
with
plane when you're just kind of sitting there. So yeah, I mean,
that's sitting in the airport. I'm a person, I have to get to the airport 2 hours in advance. I have to be there. And, I want to get all settled. And one of the things that I enjoy about travel is sitting in the airport, stitching, watching people. It's interesting, very interesting.
This Santa up here, I stitched in LAX, and I was there for 4 hours. I stitched, it's a 25 count over 1 in LAX.
That's cool.
So that's where the lady asked me, "Oh, that's nice knitting." I said, "Thank you." It's a sweater.
That's nice knitting.
You didn't get it.
What? Knitting.
Oh my gosh, I still knitting. It's crazy. Yeah, no, you guys have all stitched in very amazing places. I don't go anywhere outside of the US, so like I've stitched on planes and stuff, but nowhere outside the US. Maybe someday, but that's really neat. So the next question is, what can you not do without for your stitching? Like your favorite go-to must-have other than the basics?
Well, it's not, I would say my prescription readers. Because when Sheila told me that they can be made, I ran to the optometrist and said, took my linen with me and said, "I want to see this."
I did that too when I got these. I'm like, I want to see this. And it was 18 count.
Yeah, so my stitching glasses, they are a must.
I love.
Yeah.
Yep.
It makes two-handed stitching makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
And you don't have to, they say 18 inches, but you do the long.
So you made that post. Yeah, because you made that post, I think. Because if you watch some of my Stitch With Me's, I do the same thing. I am a lazy stitcher. That's what Janine and the Acorns and Threads say. Yep, I do the same thing. Glad I'm not alone.
And that might be why I stitch faster, because I only do 12-inch links, and I'm going.
That could be, yeah.
Well,
we're just like, woo.
I hate redoing it.
I
Yeah.
can thread a needle fast.
Me too.
Thread needle-
Except,
I don't know if they're on
and
my
also
shoulder.
my threader.
yeah.
Also my threader.
Yeah.
Yeah, needle thread.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What about you,
I'm
Sheila?
not sure because the prescription glasses, I have a couple of magnifier lamps that I really enjoy. Like when I'm stitching at home, I rarely wear my prescription glasses, the stitching glasses, because I have magnifier lamps. So I would say probably the magnifier lamps.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, with my prescription readers, I can stitch in the airport or stitch in the car.
Yes. Yeah.
What's your
That's true.
favorite magnifying lamp?
Daylight.
The daylight.
Daylight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. I have the floor stand that's on casters, so I can kind of move it around and shift it around. That one's really good. And in this room, I have a hot light that is secured to a table.
Oh, the clamp, the
So
one that clamps on.
Yeah, the clamp,
Yeah.
C-clamp. Yeah, that's what I'm trying. Yeah, the C-clamp.
Yeah.
I use both of those a lot.
I take because it's the same with me for my glasses, but I also take a portable light that's like battery charged, because if I go to somewhere where I'm sitting for an appointment and they don't have the greatest lighting, I just whip that thing out. People look at me like I'm crazy, but gotta do what I gotta do.
The Mighty Bright?
Yeah, just clamp the hammerhead on there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I love that. And it
Yeah.
fits on a Q-snap. So,
Yes.
Clamps wide open.
yep.
Yeah.
Nice and wide. I'm curious on this one for you guys. This one is, how do you decide on what you're going to work on next?
Yes, that's an interesting question.
I was really curious.
Who's first?
Nobody wants
I'll
to
go
answer.
first because it's. I know. Well, this month, because I won't say that I'm struggling, but it feels like a struggle a little bit. And that's because for the last 3 or 4 months, I've been focusing on getting a lot of things prepped for 2021, because EJ and I are doing No New Starts 2021.
Until March.
Yeah, you guys are very brave.
So there's been a lot of focus on starting a lot of things, really kind of checking out all of my existing whips. And so this month, I've been trying to do little pieces that I can start and finish all within the month. Just, I have a lot of odds and end little pieces hanging around. But other than that, I use a daily rotation. So I stitch on one project every day, unless it's a day that I'm not at home or didn't get a lot of stitching in, at which point I might carry it over to another day. But I have all of my current whips, the ones that I'm really working on, in a bin, and I just move from the front to the back.
Okay.
One comes up. Yeah.
All right. We don't hear very many people that have a rotation type of thing. I always hear the whatever calls to me kind of answer, but I like that. I'm going to try and come up with something like that, I think, for the new year, but.
Yeah, I always plan out my whole year in a spreadsheet, and I calculate how many days it'll take me to finish it, and then I add the next item, and follow the spreadsheet. And then I look at something shiny and sparkly and stitch that. And now I'm using the wheel. So I don't know, there's a couple of me in here and we just pick what we want to do.
Yeah.
We're all happy.
I'm in many.
The wheel only works for me when I spin it with an audience.
Yeah.
When I spin it by myself, I can sit there spinning all day long. It's like
That's me. Yeah. I don't like to be
you
told
gotta
what
have
to
an
do.
audience. They hold you accountable.
Yeah.
Nice. So.
Yeah, which I'll be spinning tonight with our late night Zoom.
All right.
I'm in. I'm in different challenge groups, so that focuses on, like, it gives me something to do, basically. And then so I pick and choose what I want to stitch on based on the challenges, and I also like the challenge of it. Like, how can I fit this piece into multiple pieces, and being creative that way. I also have the wheel, so whenever I'm like I'm like, oh my goodness, let me pause a minute for on the challenge groups. I have the wheel that I spin, and then other times I also have, I feel like finishing this. That's true. I feel like working on this, so so I have a variety. I'm everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys all have different unique ways of what you're going to work on next. That's pretty neat. It really is. Gives people some ideas on what they can do for sure. So all right.
It also depends on what I enable you guys with, right?
Yes, that does have a way of sort of interrupting whatever else was going on.
Yeah, or someone comes along and let's stitch this together. Let's do a SAL. Okay. There we go.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's always that fun stuff too.
Yes.
All right, so we are down to the last question. I saved the best for last. So it is, what's the best thing that has happened to you so far this year?
You know, I'm gonna, let me start, because, you know, given all of the challenges of this year, I would say that the best thing that has happened to me this year is having being able to do the Flosstube videos with Gary and EJ, regardless of where we are.
Yeah.
Because we started out in the beginning in March, where we were all in our respective homes, and we figured out how to do it on Zoom. About that is some members of our stitching community have moved out of the area and no longer could stitch with us, and so we've been able to stitch with them as well again.
Yep.
That has been the nicest thing, I think, that has happened. And I love the GaRon Sunday Zoom stitching. I would say the nicest thing that's happened to me this year has been Zoom stitching.
Being able to stay connected, yeah.
Yes.
All right, who's next?
I think actually the biggest thing that's happened to Ronnie and I is the creation of GaRon Stitchery. I mean, that's been our, you know, it's like, what, you're closed down in the pandemic. Oh no, I need supplies. Let's open up a shop.
See, that's what I was saying. It's got to be amazing.
Personal. I mean, and we're both a little, you know, attention to detail. So we kind of know how people want to be treated, and we, you know, we do what we say and say what we do. I mean, that's,
yeah, that's amazing.
That's our biggest thing.
For me, it's the still being able to stitch with the stitching community. You know, either through Zoom every day, every night, Saturday Zoom, Sunday Zoom, Zooming with virtual stitchers, but you still have that community, because a lot of people would be isolated without it.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And no one wants to feel that way, and to, you know.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
No. And I say this in a lot of the interviews, but you know, those of us that make Flosstube videos, that keeps a lot of people company too. So the Zooms, our videos, all that, it helps out others that aren't necessarily active, I guess, in our community, if that makes sense, you know, just kind of home by themselves. So that's just, technology is amazing. It really is. And it's funny that we've really discovered Zoom more so now, at least I have, than, you know, before the pandemic, the use of it and being able to connect with others. So yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, because before, when I would travel for business, we would get a local stitcher to step in, or like if Celia was out.
Yep.
So now going forward, maybe when we're back traveling again, maybe other options of recording on location.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I agree.
That just sounds amazing.
Yeah. The
We kind of
technology.
did that one video. I talked to them through my security system.
Yeah,
Like
I know.
angels, scared the heck out of them.
It was like Gary's voice coming out of the ceiling. It was
You're like, what? That's awesome. So we are at the end of the interview. This was a lot of fun, a lot of laughs. It was really fun hanging out with you guys. I appreciate you taking time out of your evenings to do this, and ringing in the kind of the end of 2020 and the beginning of 2021. So we can wish everybody, a happy new year.
Happy
well,
New
so-
Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah. All right. And thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having us. Totally.
It was a lot of fun. It really was. So, all right. We'll say bye to everybody on Flosstube.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy New Year.